So since the start of May, this is 2020 of course, Phuket had a soft opening. They had opened the borders up of their sub-districts or tambon, which was the only place in all of Thailand that had actually closed the borders of all the tambon. And here I am in one of the local hypermart slash mini malls, Tesco, Lotus. I'm sure many of you are familiar. And as you can see, most of the non-essential shops are shut down. Here I'm passing a gold shop. The only thing that's open, of course, is the hypermart itself, Tesco, and then, of course, some restaurants like Starbucks and McDonald's, essential places of business. And so it's kind of a rude awakening here for a lot of the locals here. Here I'm passing some ATMs. Some people are getting money, and people who would still have some income. But Phuket's got a rude awakening, if not already. And here's another fast food joint that I'm sure you all are familiar with. But coming up soon, just because much of Phuket is dependent on the service industry. So here I am in the one of the largest parks in Phuket City, and what you can notice here is how all of the exercise equipment are basically taped off like a crime scene. So they basically opened it up at the beginning of May because these were all shut down. The parks were all closed off. The beaches are still shut down as I record this video right now. And so they opened up the parks to allow people to run. But you can kind of hear in the background, you can hear this blaring speaker that's playing over and repeat about all the rules for the new normal and using the public park for the better of everybody. And there's propaganda music playing with it and everything. I mean, it wouldn't be so bad, but of course they're repeating it over and over. So you come to the park, right? You want to kind of relax and exercise. And I'm sure a lot of people do. They just zone out. They put in their earphones. But if you don't have earphones, you got to listen to the repeat over and over and over of all the 10 rules about washing your hands and social distancing and not using any of the playground or exercise equipment and, for the better, to save everybody. Safety, safety, safety. So just repeating over and over. Here's the sign here that actually explicitly says you're not allowed to use any of the exercise equipment or any of the playground or anything equipment. All you can do is walk or run while they blare their loud noise pollution about the social distancing new normal rules. And so, yeah, you can imagine how unrelaxing a trip to the park might be nowadays. And so this was, like I said, early May. And, people, at least they're getting exercise. They're getting out with the trees and getting some oxygen. Well, obviously they're not getting a lot of oxygen because of the masks that they're forced to wear. Here you can see here's the checkpoint. They basically made one choke point to get into the park. Usually there's 5 or 6 entrances to this park. But as you can see, they need to check everybody's temperature, make sure everyone's wearing a mask and complying with the rules. And they got them all posted up. And so, a lot of people get into the park and they'll wear their mask to get in, and then they'll just basically start breathing normal once they're away from all the checkpoint. Here I am in a local grocery store just to kind of show you the food situation. I mentioned earlier Phuket's got a rude awakening because we don't have an agricultural industry here. All of our food is either shipped in. Very little of it is grown on the island, if any. Anyway, the food that makes it to the grocery stores is mostly not from Phuket. I mean, some of the herbs might be from local producers, but the bulk of vegetables and meat and fruit are shipped in from off island because it's an island, right? And so we're not an agricultural-based island. We're a service-based island that was dependent on hotels and tourism, which all of that has been shut down now. And so a lot of that may or may not ever recover. But yeah, people still got to eat either way. And so for now, as of early May, grocery stores are still fully stocked with food. And of course, people who have money or people who have government subsidies or welfare checks coming in, of course, the one thing that they're going to need to be buying is food. So here's some canned fish and, of course, vegetables, a lot of wholesome vegetables. So people need to eat. And so that's a good point that moving forward, as far as industries go, of course, agro-food, if you're in that industry, you're a little bit more cushioned from the economic effects, specifically if you can produce food within whatever regulations that are going to regulate the food production in whatever country you are in. But as for Thailand's a food surplus country, and so for now, we're fully stocked. But yeah, even in Thailand, or no matter where you are, if you can get into food production, you got a little bit more cushion because a lot of other jobs are not coming back anytime soon, if at all. So of course, and I'll end this clip here with a photo of a seed stall. So seeds are still being sold here. They're not being sold. They are essential items, and this is a local seed company. Whatever. Yeah, so you can see vegetable seeds, how much they cost, 15, 16 baht for a packet of seeds. So definitely something to consider, even if you're at home and you don't have a lot of income coming in. Start planting some seeds. And yeah, that would conclude this clip for now, but thanks for listening. And we'll keep you updated more on the situation as it continues.